Let's talk about something that messes with the heads of even the smartest men. What to do when a woman starts ignoring you. One day she's warm, texting back, smiling, laughing at your jokes, and then boom, radio silence. No calls, no replies. She's suddenly busy. But let's be real, a woman ignoring you isn't just a coincidence. It's a message. And whether she's testing you, losing interest, or trying to gain power, you need to know exactly how to respond. And no, chasing her, double texting, or sending her flowers is not the move. Welcome to Man of Substance, where we teach you how to move with value, power, and clarity in the dating world. In today's video, I'm going to show you the 5 things you should do immediately if a woman starts ignoring you. These are not manipulative tactics or emotional games. These are strategic responses that protect your self-respect and often make her realize exactly what she's risking by pulling away. Now here's the truth most men don't want to hear. If she's ignoring you, she probably thinks you care more than she does. And that belief? That's what makes her feel comfortable pulling away. But when you respond the right way, when you stay grounded, strong, and centered, you flip the dynamic completely. Suddenly, she's the one wondering, did I mess up? Did I misread him? This video is about putting you back in control, not by playing games, but by standing on your value. Because once a woman sees that her silence doesn't shake you, that her absence doesn't change your direction, that's when her interest shifts. So if you're tired of feeling confused, frustrated, or rejected when a woman ignores you, this video is your wake-up call. Let's get into the 5 things you should be doing right now to turn everything around, or walk away with your power fully intact. 1. Stop texting. The moment she starts ignoring you, the worst thing you can do is keep texting her. Most men panic. They start double texting, asking if she's okay, or worse, sending long messages, trying to fix something that she hasn't even explained. This doesn't bring her closer. It confirms what she already suspects. You're too available. See, when a woman pulls away, she's watching. She's not just ignoring you randomly. She's studying your response. And when you keep reaching out, it tells her you're dependent on her attention, that you have no emotional control, that your self-worth is hanging on her replies. But when you stop texting completely, that's when the shift begins. Now she starts asking herself questions. Why hasn't he followed up? Or, did I lose him already? That's where the power flips. By staying silent, you let your absence speak louder than any text ever could. And no, this isn't about being petty or childish. It's about setting a boundary. You're showing her that your time, attention, and energy aren't up for grabs whenever she feels like it. You're not there to be breadcrumbed. If she's ignoring you, you give her space, but not as a tactic. You do it because you value yourself too much to chase after someone who's not reciprocating. Here's where most guys mess up. They try to be nice instead of real. They think if they just explain how they feel, she'll come back. But attraction doesn't work that way. The more you explain, the more she pulls away. What she really respects is a man who doesn't need to explain himself. He just moves accordingly. Let's say you texted her and she read your message but didn't reply. Instead of following up or asking if everything's okay, you say nothing. You go silent. You carry on with your day, hit the gym, focus on your work, maybe even post a story showing you're out with friends. That's silence. It speaks volumes. She expected weakness. You gave her strength. And sometimes, that's all it takes to flip the script. 2. Remove her from the spotlight. When a woman starts ignoring you, she assumes one thing, that she's still the center of your attention. Even in her absence, she expects you to keep thinking about her, checking her stories, liking her posts, and mentally orbiting her world. That's the dangerous trap. And it's exactly where you need to break the pattern. The second she pulls away, you take her out of the spotlight in your life. This means you're no longer showing interest in what she's doing, what she's posting, or what she's feeling. Why? Because giving her that attention, when she's giving you nothing in return, is like handing out rewards for bad behavior. And guess what? People repeat what they're rewarded for. If a woman gets more attention from you when she pulls away, she learns that ignoring you gives her power. But when your attention stops flowing in her direction, she feels that shift. She senses that the light she was basking in just went out. This doesn't mean you have to block her or be aggressive. It means you stop watching her stories, liking her photos, or engaging in anything that keeps her in the spotlight. She needs to feel the contrast between being the center of your world and becoming just another face in the crowd. This shift isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming your energy. It's about reminding yourself and her that your focus is a privilege, not a given. When she was engaging with you, sure, she had your interest. But the moment she withdrew, the spotlight moved. That's what women respect. Not a man who begs, but a man who adapts without complaint. Let's say she's been cold, hasn't replied to your last 2 messages, and you notice she's posting selfies and looking for validation online. Instead of feeding into it, you pull back. You don't view her stories. You don't throw likes her way. You don't comment, and you definitely don't give her any public attention. Then you turn your focus somewhere else, your goals, your social life, your hobbies. Maybe you post something that subtly shows you're busy, active, and unbothered. Not to show off, but to show that her absence doesn't freeze your life. That right there shakes her. She expected you to keep orbiting her. Instead, you've moved on with confidence. Here's the truth most men don't hear. The more you center her, the more she drifts. But when you center yourself and let her feel what it's like to be moved out of your mental spotlight, she starts questioning everything. Did I misread him? Is he really over it? That doubt is powerful, and in many cases, it's exactly what makes her come back, looking for the attention she once took for granted. 3. Post like you're unbothered. Now here's a move that flips the emotional script fast. How you post when she's ignoring you. Most men go into silent panic mode. They stop posting altogether. Or worse, they start posting obvious attempts to get her attention. Sad quotes, emotional lyrics, or anything screaming, "I'm hurt." Don't do that. That's not strength. It's exposure. And it sends the wrong message. If she's ignoring you, and your social media suddenly looks like a cry for help, she doesn't feel guilty. She feels validated. She thinks, he's still stuck on me. That feeds her ego and confirms she still has emotional control over you, even in silence. Instead, you need to post like your world hasn't skipped a beat, not because you're faking it, but because you genuinely value your peace and momentum more than her absence. That's what makes a statement. When your posts reflect that you're active, grounded, and moving forward, you create a powerful impression without saying a word. It doesn't have to be flashy. You're not posting to impress her. You're posting to express that your life is in motion, with or without her. That's where the power is. The reality is, people check up on people they're ignoring. Even if she's ghosting you, she's watching. She's lurking. And what she sees during this silence either keeps you attractive in her eyes or makes her lose interest for good. That's why looking unbothered isn't just about what you post. It's about your energy behind it. A calm, confident presence. A sense that you're not chasing anyone. You're focused, you're enjoying your life, and if someone wants to be part of that world, they have to meet your standard, not the other way around. Women are emotional creatures. They don't respond to logic. They respond to vibes, to energy. If your online presence screams neediness, they feel it. But if it radiates ease, direction, and quiet confidence, they feel that too, and it sticks with them longer. So while she's ignoring you, don't disappear, and don't perform either. Stay present, stay cool, and let your life do the talking. Because nothing makes someone question their silence like watching the person they're ignoring glow without them. 4. Give her a taste of her own silence. Let's be honest, being ignored stings, especially when you've been consistent, respectful, and showing genuine interest. But here's the hard truth. The longer you stay available during that silence, the less she values your presence. That's why it's time to stop rewarding her behavior and start mirroring it. Give her a taste of her own silence, not out of spite, not to play games, but to restore balance. See, when a woman starts ignoring you, most men go into fix-it mode. They want to talk it out, understand what went wrong, or reinitiate the connection. But what they don't realize is that silence is often intentional. She may be testing your emotional control, she may be trying to gain the upper hand, or she might be slowly pulling away because she thinks you'll just accept it. When you go quiet in return, you disrupt that pattern. You introduce a different kind of energy, one that says, "I don't chase uncertainty." That alone resets the entire tone. The point isn't to be petty, it's to preserve your dignity. When someone cuts off communication, the last thing they expect is for you to match that move without hesitation. That's how you stop looking like a guy who's waiting and start looking like a man who doesn't settle for disrespect, even if it's subtle. And here's what makes it even more powerful. Most women aren't used to men doing this. They're used to getting silence and still being pursued. They're used to pulling away and having guys flood their inboxes. So, when you go quiet too, it sends a message she didn't see coming. Now suddenly, it's her wondering what you're thinking. It's her checking your social media. It's her scrolling through your old messages. Because your silence isn't just absence, it's a reflection of self-respect. It tells her that if she wants access to you, communication has to go both ways. And this is where the shift happens. She'll either reach out or disappear. And either way, you win. Because if she reaches out, it means the silence made her realize something. And if she doesn't, it means she was never really present to begin with. This is how emotionally grounded men move. They don't react to every withdrawal. They don't chase validation. They observe behavior and respond with clarity. Silence for silence, space for space, respect for respect. It's not a power move, it's a boundary. And boundaries are how you protect your energy in a world full of emotional games. So if she's ignoring you, stop overthinking it. Don't sit there replaying the last conversation. Just go quiet. Not as punishment, but as a statement, you match effort, not fantasy. Because at the end of the day, your time is a privilege. And silence, that's how you remind her of it. 5. Double your focus on your mission. The moment she starts ignoring you is the exact moment you need to get back to what really matters, your mission. Because let's face it, when a woman pulls away, most guys lose focus. They stop hitting the gym. They scroll through their phones, waiting for a reply. They cancel plans. They keep checking her page like it's some kind of scoreboard. That's when you start losing ground. Not just with her, but with yourself. The truth is, her silence should never shake your direction. If anything, it should sharpen it. Because a man on his mission doesn't collapse when someone pulls away. He gets hungrier. He gets tunnel vision. He doubles down on what he's building. His goals, his body, his mindset, his money. You need to understand this. She's not the mission. She can be part of your life, sure, but she can't be the center of it. Once a woman becomes your purpose, your drive weakens. And women can feel that shift. They feel when they're the reason you're waking up in the morning and not your own ambition. That's when attraction dies. But when a man is rooted in something deeper, when his focus stays locked even in the face of rejection or silence, that's when his value skyrockets. Not just in her eyes, but in the eyes of everyone around him. Because purpose is magnetic. When you're chasing something bigger than attention, people notice. Your energy shifts. You walk different. You speak with certainty. You move like a man who doesn't need anyone to validate his worth. That's the most attractive version of you. And ironically, that's when the silence usually breaks. But even if it doesn't, that's fine. Because you didn't build yourself just to get her back. You built yourself because your life demands it. The silence she's giving you, let it fuel you. Let it push you to level up. Not out of spite, but because you refuse to pause your growth for anyone. Every time you get that urge to reach out, to check in, to chase, redirect it. Hit the weights, knock out that project, learn a new skill. Show yourself what you're capable of when you're not distracted. Because here's the real game. While she's ignoring you, you're either getting weaker or getting better. And the man who keeps getting better, he never needs to beg for attention. Because eventually, they all circle back to the one who didn't stop for them. That's how you win. 6. Make her earn back your attention. Here's something most men never even think about. Your attention is valuable, and once someone disrespects it by going silent or pulling away, they shouldn't be able to walk right back into it like nothing happened. If a woman has ignored you, ghosted you, or acted like you weren't worth a reply, then suddenly pops back into your life, don't hand her your attention on a silver platter. She needs to earn it. Now that doesn't mean you have to be cold or petty. It just means you don't roll out the red carpet the moment she returns. She walked away from your energy, right? So now, she needs to prove she respects it before she gets full access again. This is where most men slip. They've been so emotionally invested in her that when she finally replies, they jump right back in like she never left. That desperation kills the whole vibe. It confirms to her that you were waiting and your attention was always free. But when you flip that, when you respond calmly, with self-control, and let her feel that she's not entitled to your focus anymore, that's when you become unpredictable. That's when she starts questioning everything. Say she disappears for a week, then hits you with a "Hey, stranger." Most guys would reply instantly, trying to pick things back up. But a man who values himself pauses. He doesn't rush. Maybe he takes a few hours to respond. Maybe his tone is different. Not rude, just less eager. That subtle shift sends a loud message. You're not my center anymore. Women are drawn to men who aren't afraid to withhold their energy. Because deep down, they know that kind of man won't be controlled emotionally. And that's what earns respect. That's what sparks curiosity. That's what flips the dynamic. Making her earn your attention doesn't mean playing games. It means being aware of your value and treating your time, energy, and interest like the privilege it is. You don't rush back in. You assess. You stay calm. You make her feel what it's like to re-enter your world on your terms, not hers. Because if she didn't value your presence before, she has to work to get it now. That's how men of substance move. 7. Don't ask why. Act like you know. Here's a piece of advice that may sting a bit. Stop asking why she's ignoring you. Too many men waste their time overanalyzing. They dive deep into trying to figure out what went wrong, what they could have done differently, or what she's thinking. They send themselves in circles, stressing over answers that don't exist. But here's the cold truth. Asking why is a trap. When a woman goes silent, it's not a time to beg for clarity. It's a time to act like you already know why. Because the truth is, you've been in this position before. You've seen the signs. And deep down, you already know why she's pulling away, or why she's giving you the cold shoulder. Most men, though, are scared to admit the truth. They can't deal with the fact that she may just be losing interest, or that she's treating them like an option. So they beg for answers, send multiple texts asking, "Why haven't you responded?" or "Is everything okay?" And every time they do that, they come off looking insecure and desperate. This is where you need to wake up. This behavior isn't attractive. It's weak. It shows a lack of emotional control and self-respect. Asking why means you're still looking for validation from her. And the moment you do that, you hand over all your power. You need to stop seeking answers from someone who's already made their stance clear. They're ignoring you. And that's enough information for you to act. Instead of sitting there, waiting for her to explain herself, use that energy to focus on yourself. Stop spinning in circles trying to decode what her silence means, because you already know the message. She's not putting in the effort right now. And that's where the shift happens. You stop being the guy who chases answers. You become the guy who's moving forward, with or without her. Here's a critical wake-up call. You are not entitled to her time or energy. The moment you start asking, "Why are you ignoring me?" you're putting her on a pedestal. You're lowering yourself, begging for crumbs. And women can feel that. They can tell when a man is emotionally weak, and it repels them. Now, I'm not saying you should be cold or unfeeling. You don't need to act like you don't care at all. But you do need to develop emotional strength. When she's ignoring you, you act as if you've got your life together. Because you do. You act like you're not waiting for her to solve some mystery, because you don't need her to. You've got your own goals and direction, and you're not going to stop for anyone. Don't make the mistake of thinking that her ignoring you is about you. It's not. It's about her choices, and you don't need to chase that. You don't need her explanation. You don't need to plead for it. What you need is clarity on what you want. And if she's not part of that right now, then it's time to move on and stop asking questions that have already been answered. The answer is, she's not putting in the effort. So neither should you. 8. Be ready to walk and mean it. Here's the truth that most men ignore. If you're not ready to walk away, you'll never have true power. And I'm not talking about the type of walking away that comes with drama or threats. I mean having the inner strength to simply move on when the situation no longer serves you. When a woman is ignoring you, it's a sign. It's a clear message that she's either not interested or that she's playing games. Either way, it's time to decide whether you're willing to accept that treatment or if you have the backbone to walk away and mean it. Here's where too many men fail. They say they'll walk, but their actions don't back it up. They threaten to leave, but they stay stuck, lingering, hoping she'll change. This is where most men lose respect for themselves and from others. If you're always on standby, she'll never respect your time. So let me ask you, are you willing to truly walk? And by walk, I mean leave without looking back. Not just physically, but emotionally as well. You need to reach the point where your peace, your time, and your life are more valuable than waiting around for someone who isn't putting in the effort. And here's the kicker. When you're ready to walk, you don't have to announce it. You don't need to have an emotional conversation about it. You just do. You take a step back. You stop texting. You stop chasing. You stop living on her terms. And you put your own life first. Don't make the mistake of thinking that walking away is a defeat. It's actually a victory. It shows that you value yourself enough not to stay in a situation where you're ignored or treated like an option. It's a reminder that your worth doesn't depend on anyone else's attention. If she wants you back, she'll have to earn it, and not with sweet words, but with consistent action. You'll know if she's serious because you'll see her effort, but if she doesn't come back, that's fine too, because you're already on your own path, and you know your worth. Don't wait around for someone to decide you're worthy of their attention. Be the man who walks, not because you're afraid to lose her, but because you know your value and won't settle for anything less than respect. Now here's a controversial truth. If a woman is ignoring you, she's probably not the one for you, and deep down, you already know it. It's painful to admit, but it's a reality many men refuse to face. You've been conditioned to think that you need to chase her, beg for her attention, and figure out what went wrong. But the truth? If she's not showing consistent interest, she's not the right woman. And letting her keep you in a holding pattern is a mistake most men make. If she wanted you, she'd make it obvious. So stop waiting. Stop overanalyzing. Your time, energy, and attention are worth more than someone who can't see it. Don't chase someone who's playing games. Chase your own goals, your own mission. That's the most attractive thing you can do. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Comment below with your stories, whether you've been ignored or how you turned the tables. I'll be reaching out personally to connect with you. Let's have a real conversation and build a community of men who value themselves above all else. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.